The Mastering Local Marketing podcast helps local small business owners like you understand what it takes to successfully market your business and drive new customers through your doors. We provide actionable insights, interview leading experts and business owners in various industries, as well as provide tips and tricks we've uncovered over the last 25 years in the field. Whether you're starting your business or you've been at it for decades, let us provide you with the education and resources you need to grow your customer base. It's time to start mastering your local marketing. Here's your host, Matt Hansen.
Welcome to Mastering Local Marketing. This is our 50th episode, and I wanted to bring somebody in that has truly inspired me as one of my most favorite people. I'm going to try not to make her cry because I will go there. But I have Dr. Lori Feldman with me today, and she is one of my mentors. She has taught me so much through the years, and I said, I basically sent her a text message. I said, you have got to be on the 50th episode with us. I need you. You're my crutch. Come in. And so we've been sharing, kid pictures in the back because we haven't seen each other in a while. But today I wanted to invite Lori back. Lori, how have you been?
I have been great. Thank you so much. I miss Purdue. Yeah. I retired a few years ago. I miss Purdue on doing other things, but thrilled to be back with you. And, I'll shoot it right back. Matt is one of my very favorite people, and we've known each other a really long time.
Right.
We won't say how long. But one of the joys for me is that I now get to learn from Matt. And it's come full circle.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot, actually.
Did he blush?
I did. I think I did.
I think he did blush. I mean, it's hard to tell.
It's the lighting.
How did I get an MBA at P&W without taking any classes from you?
Well, that's a darn good question.
That is. I mean, I took plenty of marketing classes, mostly with him, actually. That's why we're here. But there were, I think, 2 other marketing classes, and one of them was not you. And I've heard not just from Matt that I missed out, especially on marketing theory and having the right attitude toward marketing. Yeah. So I know we want to go straight into it. Where are you going?
Oh, so today I want to talk about the recent announcement from Meta. So Zuckerberg has basically come out and said, all of our advertising is going to be AI generated moving forward.
Yep. Are you listening to this, by the way? All right, sorry.
So we've got people in
That's a major cost for us.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So think of it in terms of this. Today when you go into Meta and you start to set up campaigns, and I do this, right? So I do this for different agencies. I do this for different clients. You can go in there and you start to set up and you say, okay, well, here's my ads, my images, and my video, and I've got to generate the description and the headlines and where they're going and all this other stuff. And I've noticed over the last, we'll call it year and a half, that more and more of these AI tools are starting to be built into it. And, now you're getting headlines, here's some suggestions, and here's description suggestions, and here are things that you can do to make your images, your videos better. If you add music to the background, if you want us to enhance the imagery, all of these different things that you can click. And basically what they're doing is they're testing all of this out. And they're saying that we find that people that have 3 or 4 headlines actually perform better than those that only have 1. We find that when you add music to your image, it's going to produce better. So, we've been watching it from afar, and we're watching it from an agency perspective, and we're watching it from a user perspective, and we're kind of hesitant. We've kind of been like, okay, I know all, and that's a horrible way to look at it. But I wanted to bring Dr. Feldman on today, and really, we've had these discussions and where things are going. But today, where we are right now, pretty much there's all of these different things in Meta that you can select and say, please go do this for me. So what are your thoughts on this? I know you have leadership consulting that you do. Are you hearing anything out there of people that are talking, or your own personal brand and everything that you're doing? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, my thought is embrace what's new, right? I talk to a lot of my own clients now who much like many people I've worked with over the years, are afraid of change.
Yeah.
And the change is happening so fast. In my own experience, the adoption of AI has happened faster than any technology I have seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's really
Say that
cool.
again.
It's
Now
really
remember, we're talking to a lot of small and medium-sized business, kind of like us, kind of like Matt by himself.
Yep.
It's cool, and that's coming from someone who's been in the marketing field how long?
35 years.
Okay. And that is not something that a lot of the small and medium-sized businesses are used to hearing. They're afraid of AI right now. How do you get them to not be afraid?
I think that's the million-dollar question, right? And I think the answer to that is the earlier we adopt these things, and I have a small business too. It's me, just me. But as Matt has talked about on other episodes, the more I can use the tools to help automate some of the work, the more I can spend time. I do a lot of coaching with executives. The more I can spend time talking with people and supporting them and not focusing on my website and not focusing on my podcast and not focusing on my FAQ and not focusing on creating content for LinkedIn or other kinds of things. So I think to answer your question, how do we get people not to be afraid, is to realize that the answer is you get to do more of the stuff you like to do.
I like that.
Yeah.
And not more of the stuff that is a burden to you. And I think that's basic consumer behavior, right? Instead of hiring an agency to do these things, you have to have some trust and you have to know your clients. But there are opportunities to speed up, cut costs, and do more of what you like to do.
You're talking about disrupting the agency market.
I am. And I don't think that agencies are going to go away. I think that their role is going to shift.
Yes, I've seen that. That's happening right now, right? Even in my own consulting. I used to spend hours building campaigns in these platforms, and that's not the real value of having, I can train my 17-year-old how to do this if I really wanted to. The real value comes in the strategy and understanding how it all works together, and once they get over to your website and all that, right? So I think it's interesting. They've thrown this out there. People are a little scared of it, but I also say we all had to get used to email and the internet at some point as well, and I don't think anyone's out there going, I'm not on the internet. There may be a few, right? But where we're in 2025 right now. Yep. By 2026, every single ad in Facebook and in Instagram will be AI generated. That is what Zuck has said.
Came out
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Right? So everyone went, whoa, what's going on here? But what they're saying is all you have to do is put a product, an image, how much you're willing to spend, and what your objective is, right? Are you trying to drive traffic? Are you trying to sell this? What is it that you're trying to do? Their AI will then go create all of this. So it'll create, if you upload an image, it may generate a video for you, right? But it is learning all of these different things, and it's been working for a while now to kind of understand all of this. But what they're saying is, we're going to do better than you can ever possibly do, so let us take it. And from one side, I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, thank you. This is the best thing ever. I don't have to worry about setting this stuff up anymore. I just upload it, let them go, and I can focus on all the other things. On the flip side of it, having dealt in this space for so long, we have what are called walled gardens, and it's these companies that you can't see beyond the walls. You don't know what's going on, and you have to put all of your trust into what they're saying. So it's like a double-edged sword here. I appreciate it, but I'm also skeptical. And I know it's funny because I'm skeptical, but I know it's going to be all right.
It is going to be all
Right?
right eventually. And I think that it requires a shift in the way that we think about this. Look, I have no doubt that even probably now and eventually, AI will be better than you or I can be at creating campaigns. What they can't necessarily do, or what it may take them a while to figure out how to do, is develop a real value proposition, right? To understand the consumer. They're getting there, but it's going to take a while. And to really develop something that's differentiated, something that's going to stand out in the marketplace, and is not going to be a commodity.
Right.
So AI can create a brilliant campaign for something that people don't want.
Yes.
And that is where I think, for now, we as human beings still have a role.
What about small brands, large brands? I mean, you get the small brands. We're talking to a lot of that. Certainly, I think with Matt involved, we got a lot more marketing professionals and large brands people, even the people that he's taught. There's many that listen and they work for big companies now. But typically we're talking to that small brand. How are they going to use this?
Actually, I think although it may be early, the large brands are going to be earlier to adopt these. I think that small brands and medium-sized brands and small organizations and medium-sized organizations have the most to gain from AI, right? That I, in my own business, don't have that kind of marketing budget to go out and hire even a small agency.
Right.
I'm doing it myself, right? So if I have the tools and I'm willing to put in the time, I can expand my reach. I might be able to do more sophisticated kinds of things. I might be able to do something that's more integrated. I think the one place that small and medium-sized organizations are going to have to look at is making sure that they don't put all of their AI efforts into one part of their messaging, right? Into just my website, into just my podcast. And then when somebody goes from the podcast to their website, there's no continuity.
That's
You know how many people are listening and nodding? Oh, that's me. I do. I got a great Facebook page, and then they come over to my website, and it looks like what it is. It was designed in 2015, 10 years ago. And believe me, we deal with that all the time. And AI actually has pointed that out. Your website needs, I'm meeting with the guy today at 11:30, and he has pointed that out. So one of the dangers of that is something that Matt talks about, is that do one thing well. So how do you integrate that idea of do one thing well with make sure you got all these bases covered?
Wow, that's a big question. That is a really big question. And I think doing one thing well, to me, says, what is it that you are exchanging with that customer? What is it? Try not to do everything in the world. Try not to be everything to everyone. But you do need to have an integrated, consistent message. You know, the more digital channels we have to communicate with people, yes, we're able to outsource some of that work about creating those things, but we're going to have to put our time into making sure that there's that integration. We can't, you know, if our website is from 2015 and mine's sitting there, look, mine has work to do too. So I'm not the pot calling the kettle black. But if we're letting that sit there, then we're missing out on opportunities. And I think that it's a shift in time. It's a shift in priorities. It's a shift in where we put our efforts. It's not an add-on.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that the way I look at this is we can automate a variety of different operations at this point, but they all have to be strung together and work in a kind of an integrated fashion. From a small business and medium-sized business, I think the answer already happened to who is going to be more valuable, because when the announcement came out, the stock prices of the major agencies dropped.
Yep.
So everyone kind of went, oh, all right, we don't necessarily need all of these high-priced agencies and all this. I think that's where we're heading. I think, but, you know, again, we talk about time and we can only do so much and the value of doing one thing right. I think that one thing needs to be telling your story.
Yep.
And if you can utilize the tools to do it, hopefully Meta's AI system allows us to do that. We're still trying to figure it out. We're still playing with it. But as we work towards 2026, that's the biggest part of it, I think, is making sure I don't mind them building ads for me and picking the right audiences and all this other stuff.
Right.
But are they promoting something that I don't, that isn't my brand, isn't my story, isn't what I do, right? So from a podcast perspective here, I tell everyone we're focused on small and medium-sized businesses. Every single episode is around 20 minutes long, and we give you at least one thing you can leave with every single time. And it's funny, when I say that, everyone goes, you heard it the other day, we were talking to Lori, and she said, oh, that's great. That's what my clients need, right? So that's the story, but how do you put that into the AI advertising and say, this is the story I want to tell? I haven't seen how that's going to happen yet, but what I guess the one takeaway that I want to give everyone today is this is coming. Learn it and start to understand it, because you've got time, and we're only in June. It's by the end of the end of the year, so you've got your traditional system going through the holidays. But when we come back in January 1 of 2026, I'm assuming that's when they're launching this full steam ahead. The idea is know it, be ready for it. It's not something that they're just flipping a switch like what they did with AI. All of a sudden we're going, what is this thing? They've given you some warning to it, so learn it before it gets out there too fast.
We have time, and I'd echo that. Experiment.
Right.
Don't be afraid of it.
Right.
See it as something valuable that gives you time to do those things that you're really passionate about, and tell your story. I know I've used AI in my own business, and you know what? It learns. It learns.
It does.
It learns about my story and what's important to me, and it makes suggestions. Even just ChatGPT, start there, right? It learns about me, and it learns about who my target market is and my voice. Start small.
Yeah.
Gemini's good too.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's great.
Yeah, I think if you've been on it for a while, you got on the beta for a little while, and now it's more widely available. And I'm like, I don't know if ChatGPT I don't know which one's better right now.
Yeah.
I think that, but if you have a Google Gmail account and you can get your Gemini, use both of them. Sometimes you'll put in, hey, give me a marketing plan, blah, blah, blah. ChatGPT will kick it out. And it'll be different on the Gemini one. So you have to kind of learn how to compare the AIs.
And we're a bit in the Wild West. There's going to be a shakeout at some point. Somebody will rise to the top, but try it out.
So what is that one thing you would speak directly to the small to medium-sized business right now that you think they should truly concentrate on?
Wow. I think the one thing is to figure out where you need the most help. Talk to an agency or somebody else who has the expertise, who can steer you towards the tools, and try. Yeah. And just try, because it's coming. We can't run. We can't hide. It's coming. I said earlier that I've not seen any technology come this fast. I can't run that fast. Yeah. I can't outrun it. So try. If there's something that I can tell you today, is to take the chance and try. You're not going to be great at it the first 5 times, 10 times. You're going to get better. They're really easy to use.
The other thing that we have to look at, too, is Meta's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is coming behind them, right? So if we're talking about Snapchat, LinkedIn, TikTok, they're all coming behind. Yep. They're not going to let Meta get out that far out ahead of them. And then you have to start thinking, well, we're talking about advertising, but when does posting on social transition to this, right? So
it's already there.
But what I'm saying is literally saying, just going into Meta's system and saying, okay, I want 8 videos over the next X number of days focused on this, submit, and they figure it out and start posting it.
Interesting.
That's where it's heading. So now we're in the paid space right now, but where is it going to the owned space? And you have to start asking these questions, because that's where people are genuinely comfortable playing, but things are going to speed up. So start asking the questions now. And I don't know, maybe I just scared half of the people that are listening going, I never even thought of that. But this is where we're heading. You can't be scared of it. You have to embrace it. Yeah. And I think we're all scared of things that we don't know.
Right.
Technology is speeding up faster and faster. There's no way for you to know everything. And there's no way to know every platform, all the best practices, all of these types of things, no matter what you try to do. And that's why I say pick one, understand it. So where we are today, and I know we got to kind of wrap this episode up, but is to understand that this is where Meta is. This is where they're going. Others will follow. And how does it transition to the organic side, the own side of it? Because it's coming as well. So start looking into it. Watch the interviews with Zuckerberg. There's plenty of articles that's just come out in the last 2 weeks, and everyone's talking about how it's going to influence and what are the ways that you can utilize it. But I wanted to bring on kind of something really cutting edge in what's happening with Dr. Feldman today, because these are the conversations that the two of us have had for years, and we share these back and forth with each other. So thank you for coming on. I think this has been an eye-opening experience probably for a lot of people, but this is where we're heading, and I'm assuming that by the time we reach the 100th episode, we're going to have another one of these that is literally something that we didn't see coming, and it's going to continue to happen, and it may happen by 75, who knows, but thank you again for coming in. This has been an absolute pleasure. Where can people find you? Where can they get in touch with you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me. It's so great to see you again. People can find me at www.papillon.coach, PAPILLON, or
coach.
.coach.
There you go.
Yeah. So we're using goingbeyond.com, and find me on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to connect with anybody. I'd be happy to talk with you. And the one piece of advice I would leave people with is ask yourself these two words. What if? What if? What if I could what? What if I could make my life easier? What if I could cut my costs? What would that look like? Be open to possibilities.
Sounds good. I love that part, right? So what if what if we could do everything and just by nice little push of a button. So all right, Jim, you got anything else to say for us?
No, I just want to say, I got to tell you one conversation. You've had these, he and I have had them.
Yeah.
Honestly, Matt has modernized this podcast, and Matt coming in here and let's just taking stuff has just totally changed our business. We're at the forefront because of him on monetizing and so forth. But I remember a few years ago, you've had this moment with Matt Hansen. We're talking, and he's like, he gets this thing. He goes, "Oh man, I got to tell you about this. Now we got this tool where you're walking by with your cell phone, and I could tell all these things about you. And if you're driving on a car, and I could look on here, and I could follow you, and maybe not your name, but everything about you." And I'm like, Matt, don't you find that just a little bit scary? Oh hell no! I want all the information I can get. So this guy is just always looking for that edge, and I'm sure you've experienced that before.
Oh, Matt is Mr. Curious. And
Exactly.
And Mr. Cutting Edge.
And Mr. Give me all the data I can have. That's another topic for another time. Yeah. But I'm sure you've had those discussions where you're like, let me see. I think that's a good thing, or is it, right?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
And I'll bring it back to where we started, which was I have learned so much from Matt now. Matt and I I was Matt's professor years and years ago. And so for me to be able to come back and learn from Matt and have that whole full circle is such a joy for me.
All right. Well, I'm gone for 2 weeks. Maybe you could help them out there and move it along. Hey, guys, until next time, we'll see you later.